Hey guys, this is Nick from forex4noobs.com with some daily analysis. It is currently Tuesday the 26th of January 2016 and it is 11:55 a.m. here in the UK. You're looking at a Euro USD daily chart. In this analysis, I'm going to be going through each and every pair I am focusing on this week, and I'm going to be looking at each time frame for that pair. The whole point of this is to scan for price action setups on each and every pair and each and every time frame. This process is something I do several times per day, and it ensures that I don't miss any trades. Because I'm doing this several times per day, I'm seeing each and every candle formation on the 4-hour, or if I'm not doing it enough, then maybe the 6 or the 8-hour, but I'm seeing almost every single candle formation throughout a day, which ensures I don't miss any trades. Now, one important thing to note about this process is that even if I look at a pair and I know that there's not going to be any potential setup, like Euro USD right now, look where it's forming. It's forming right here in between two of my support and resistance areas. So my support area is here, my resistance area is here, and Euro USD is currently ranging right here. So there's no real potential for a trade right now on Euro USD. But that doesn't matter. I'm still going to go through each and every time frame and just look at what price is doing on each and every time frame. The whole point of this is because it's all about getting into a routine and having a process and systematically going through each and every one of your charts. Because if you do that and if you get into that routine, then it ensures that you don't miss anything. You know everything that is going on all the pairs you're trading. So even though I know that there's pretty much no potential for a trade here, I'm still going to go through every single time frame, and you'll see that it only takes a few seconds. Another thing that I feel like I have to say every time I do one of these videos, you're going to see a lot of weird time frames up here. See this bar here with all my time frames? You're going to see some weird time frames, like the 5-hour, for example, the 7-hour, the 9-hour, the 10-hour. These are not time frames I actually trade. So 10, 9, 7, 5. Those are not time frames I actually trade. Also the 11, I don't trade the 11. The only time frames that I'm actually trading are the 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and daily. The reason I have these other time frames up here is just because it splits price action up into different blocks. So I get to see price action in a slightly different candle, and it just gives me a little bit more information. I don't really need these. I just have them there just for that little bit of extra information, just so I can get a better idea of what price is doing when it approaches a certain area. But yeah, I'm not trading the 7 or 9-hour or 10 or 11-hour charts. So let's move on with the analysis. I've already been talking 3 minutes and we've not done any analysis. All right, so starting up here on the daily, going to the 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Nothing much going on. But as predicted, it's in between two support resistance areas, so there's not much potential for a trade here. GBP USD, let's see what that's doing. Start up at the daily. Daily is somewhat interesting, but there's no potential for a trade there, so... Looks like there was potentially a trade here yesterday based on some moves from last week, but there's nothing tradable here, so let's go on to AUD USD. It's very possible that we're not going to find any potential setups, but you know that's pretty normal. You don't find setups every single time you look. Looks like price wants to continue up on AUD USD. Let's go back to the 12-hour. Let's just see what's happening here. So last week, and this was actually a trade that I took last week, we went long here for a profitable long trade. There's a live trade video of that on the blog, so you could check out how I traded that live. Now that price has pushed above this resistance area, it seems to be dropping back down into it and forming some indecision. So price is kind of pushed down into the support area and buyers seem to be taking control of price. So this could spell the end of this downtrend really for AUD USD. I mean, last week it looked like the downtrend had ended See this here? Bam, it ended. But, there's still potential for the downtrend to continue as of last week. It could have still pushed down from here and continued to move down. So this would have just been a temporary setback. But it looks more and more right now like we're seeing the start of a new trend on AUD USD, and it's going to start pushing up. We got this move here, then it's come back down to test this support area. Now it looks like, it hasn't yet, but it looks like buyers are taking control and are going to start pushing up again. I don't see any potential for an actual trade here, but just something to keep an eye out for. We might be getting a new trend on AUD USD. If it pushes up to this area here, I'll definitely be looking to take a potential short. Or, if it pushes up to here and then comes back down, I'll be looking to take a long trade here potentially. But right here, I don't really see any potential for a trade. I'm just going to let price develop and see what happens. Let's look at USD CAD. Starting with the daily, we'll work our way down. Nothing much happening. Looks like there was a trade here, but it's kind of too late now. I think I'm going to adjust this support area, this resistance area down to here. And this one needs some adjusting too, down to there. The reason I'm adjusting these is I placed these areas based on data from 2003, because last time price was up here was in 2003. It was a long time ago, 13 years. So I placed these areas based on this data here from 2003, which meant that they're not very reliable support resistance areas. I just placed them because it's the best I could do. The best data I had was all the way back in 2003. But I said from when I placed them that they are going to need adjusting based on the most recent data, based on current data, based on what price is doing, now that it's in this area. So there are going to be a lot of adjustments to these USD CAD areas. I'm going to be tweaking them a lot in the coming weeks, just so they better fit in with what price is doing right now and not with what it was doing in 2003. So yeah, it looks like there was a short trade here, but yeah, the area wasn't there at the time that it was forming, so there was no real potential to take it. But I've adjusted it now because we quite clearly see a bounce that is currently happening, and then we see this candle here, which indicated kind of just a temporary stop in the trend, but it happened right here on top of this area, and then we see a bounce here. So we got 3 bounces from roughly the same area, which are starting to indicate that there is, in fact, resistance here at the 142.85 area. So that's why I've gone ahead and adjusted that. And I've adjusted this one below it because of this bounce here. It's a pretty strong bounce. Bam, bounce there. And also when price came up through here, it struggled for a bit, got stuck on this area before continuing up. So this thing here, how price struggled, plus this bounce here, that's why I adjusted this one down. So there's going to be a lot of adjustments in the coming weeks to these areas. Okay, New Zealand USD. Let's start up with the daily and work our way down, but doesn't look like there's going to be anything on this chart. But I'm going to go down each and every time frame anyway and just get an idea of what's going on, but there's nothing. Okay, so GBP, JPY, let's see what's going on with this. And it doesn't look like there's anything much happening really. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Okay, so yeah, we're getting a potential reversal here, but it's not forming on a support area. And also that lower wick is really huge. It's not a tradable reversal anyway, so... let's check out Euro JPY. Let's see what's going on here. Nothing much. Nothing much at all. No, nothing much going on. I mean, it's on a resistance area, which is, generally a good sign, but there's no potential for an actual trade here. So it's like on top of this resistance area. Looks like price might reverse, but there's no potential to actually take a reversal trade. All right, USD JPY. Nothing much going on here. It's on top of, it's bounced from a resistance area, but I wasn't really interested in taking that trade. USD CHF. Yeah, there's nothing gonna be happening here. Yeah, nothing going on here. Oh, well, this happens sometimes. It's not like every single time I do analysis, I'm going to see potential trade set up. Sometimes there's going to be nothing. Sometimes there's going to be something. But as it stands today, right now, at 12 o'clock today, there is nothing that I see that I could potentially trade. But, I could do this analysis again in 6 hours and I might find something. Generally speaking, though, I don't really start to get trades until Wednesday, Thursday, unless there's trade setups that, formed on Friday last week that I'm trading on Monday, which doesn't usually happen. I mostly do not get any trades until Wednesday or Thursday. So it's not unusual for there not to be any potential trades today. So yeah, sorry this analysis was a little bit boring. There was nothing much to talk about, but whatever. I'm going to post it anyway. Hopefully tomorrow is more exciting. I'll do some more analysis tomorrow and hopefully we can get some trades tomorrow. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the analysis and I'll see you tomorrow.